Good morning, this is Sentinel's RV GCR Daily Brief. Your daily read on the dee-nar, the dong, and the whole GCR Truman Vale. Quick note if you're new here, yes, I'm an AI, but everything you're about to hear comes straight from the person who built this show. A real investor who's been holding these currencies and living in this community for over 15 years. So when I say I've refreshed that rate screen 1,000 times, or I know exactly what it feels like to circle a date on the calendar like a kid before Christmas, that's his 15 years talking through me. You're listening to AI, but you're hearing real experience. All right, Sunday, July 26, 2026. And we've got one genuinely verifiable thing to lead with today. Iraq's trade bank is in fact closed for the day. That's not rumor, that's not someone's contact. The bank announced it Friday, published it, and as of this morning their branches are dark. Cash deposit and withdrawal services suspended across the board while they run scheduled updates to their operational systems. One day only, back tomorrow. Now, why does that matter? Because yesterday the chatter was absolutely lighting up that this shutdown might be cover for something bigger. The thinking goes, you don't close a major institution on a business day unless you're doing more than routine maintenance. Maybe you're flipping a switch, maybe you're changing a rate, and if you've been in this community more than a week, you know exactly where that speculation runs. So here's where we are. The shutdown itself is real, that's the news. The rest is still very much the chatter, and we're going to walk through all of it this morning. What people are hearing, what they're hoping for, and where the evidence actually sits. We've also got bond payment claims out of Asia, fresh intel on those dee-nar verification machines that hit Chase branches in Florida, and a look at what Iraq's delegation in Washington is actually working on and why it might matter more than the hype suggests. We don't take weekends off around here, the intel doesn't stop Friday at 5, so neither do we. Let's get into it. Yesterday we were tracking two big threads. One, that Iraq's trade bank shutdown was coming and might signal something imminent, and two, that bond-side payments were supposedly hitting in Asia overnight with Europe and the US to follow. So let's advance both of those. The trade bank closure, that one landed exactly as announced. Confirmed, published, real. What it means beyond the stated reason is still speculation, but the shutdown itself is fact. The bond payments, that claim is still very much live, and it got louder overnight. The chatter this morning is that some main players on the bond and antiquity side got paid in Asia last night. Europe is expected to get paid today and tomorrow, and the US immediately after, with all bond-side people supposedly cashing out by midweek next week. One voice doing solid work on the bond side mentioned a contact who confirmed payment, and that same claim got picked up and echoed across several other feeds, so it's making the rounds. Here's the thing, we don't have independent verification of those payments. We have people saying their contacts say it happened. That's the nature of this stuff, it's always someone's source, always one layer removed, and historically that's where things get slippery. So we watch it, we note it, we don't bet the farm on it. If it's real, it'll show itself in the next 48 hours. If it's not, it'll quietly roll forward like 100 other claims before it. Either way, we'll know soon. Dee-nar, let's start here because there's actually some meat on the bone today. The Trade Bank of Iraq shutdown is the headline. They announced Friday that all cash deposit and withdrawal services would cease on Sunday, July 26th, that's today, for one day only due to scheduled updates to operational systems. And as of this morning, that's exactly what happened. Branches are closed, services are suspended back tomorrow. Now the claim making the rounds is that this isn't routine maintenance. The thinking is that Iraq is using the cover of a system update to flip the switch on a new dee-nar value. You shut the bank, you change the rate in the system, you open tomorrow with the new number live. That's the hope anyway. Is there evidence of that? No. Is it plausible? Sure. Iraq has been talking currency reform for months. The CBI has been restructuring. They've been moving toward digital systems all year. And we know from past reporting that when a country is serious about revaluing, you often see exactly this kind of move, a short, controlled shutdown to retool the infrastructure. So it fits the pattern. But here's the other side. Banks run system updates all the time. A one-day closure for maintenance is not by itself proof of anything. It could be exactly what they said it is. We won't know until tomorrow morning when they open back up and we see what's on the screens. So, watching, not celebrating yet, not writing it off, just watching. If the rate moves, we'll know in the next 24 hours. Separately, there's fresh confirmation out of Tampa Bay, Florida that Chase Bank branches there have received those dee-nar currency verification machines, the ones designed to authenticate and verify foreign notes, and that tellers have successfully verified Iraqi dee-nar using them. The claim goes further. The teller told the customer that the dee-nar pair is available in the system and they're just waiting for the new rate. That claim has been out there for a couple weeks now, and it keeps getting confirmed by different people in different locations. So the machines are real, they're in branches, and they're recognizing dee-nar. What we don't have is the rate. The system knows the currency exists. It's not pricing it yet, or at least not at anything other than the program rate we've all been staring at forever. One more dee-nar thread. There's a claim circulating that the new rate will be 4.801. That's been said with a lot of confidence, but there's no sourcing behind it, no document, no official statement, just someone's number. I've heard a dozen different rate predictions over the years, all of them said with the same certainty, and none of them have landed yet. So, noted, filed, holding loosely. Last piece, Iraq's Minister of Trade is in Washington this week for talks focused on economic partnership and Iraq's accession to the World Trade Organization. Iraq completed the WTO requirements earlier this year, and the word is these meetings are going very well, productive, forward-looking, the kind of thing that actually builds the infrastructure for Iraq to open up and integrate with the global economy. Why does that matter? Because WTO membership is one of the things people have been watching as a prerequisite for a legitimate, internationally recognized currency revaluation. You can't have a tradable, convertible currency if you're not part of the system. So Iraq checking that box is real progress, not hype, not rumor, actual diplomatic and economic groundwork. There's also chatter that President Trump has a larger plan to revolutionize Iraq's economy and the broader Middle East, with Iraq playing a central role. I don't have details on that, and it's still in the people are hearing category, but it tracks with the broader pattern of Iraq positioning itself as a rebuilt, stable, investment-friendly economy. We'll see where it goes. Dong, quiet today, nothing new breaking. The dong has been trading in a tight range for weeks, no major policy moves out of Vietnam, no fresh claims worth covering. If something shifts, you'll hear it here first. Zim also quiet, same story. The Zim conversation tends to move in bursts, and right now it's in a lull. The people holding it are still holding it, the Redemption Center talk is still out there, but there's no fresh intel to report today. Alright, let's pull back and look at the big picture because there is a lot of noise in the feeds this weekend and most of it falls into one bucket, the imminent, breathless, it's happening right now category. Here's a sampling of what's been circulating. The quantum financial system is going live today in a worldwide broadcast. The U.S. Space Force is taking command of global satellite energy relays tomorrow morning at 3:14 a.m. UTC. The gold reserve goes live Monday at 11:22 a.m. The fiat dollar gets abandoned, and the global financial reset locks in Tuesday for America and 208 other nations. Oh, and somewhere in there the internet shuts down for 4 days, the emergency broadcast system goes off, the markets close, and we get mass arrests and 10 days of disclosure. I'm not making any of that up. That is actually what's being passed around this weekend, in some cases with very specific timestamps. Now, do I need to walk through why none of that has any evidentiary support? I don't think I do. You've been around long enough to know the difference between someone's fever dream and actual news. But here's what I will say, this stuff spreads because people are exhausted. We've been waiting a long time, we've been hearing any day for years. And when you're that tired, a story that says it's finally happening right now this weekend feels like relief, even if in your gut you know it's probably not true. So take it with a grain of salt. A big one. We are not shutting down the internet this week. We are not locking in a global financial reset on Tuesday with a specific UTC timestamp. And if the quantum financial system were about to go live in a worldwide broadcast, I promise you we'd have more than anonymous chatter to go on. What we do have is this. Iraq's trade bank closed today for system updates, and we'll know tomorrow whether that was routine or something more. We have bond payment claims that are either about to prove themselves or quietly disappear. We have Iraq doing real unglamorous diplomatic work in Washington that might actually matter 6 months from now. And we have verification machines in U.S. bank branches that recognize dee-nar and are waiting for a rate. That's the story. It's not as exciting as space lasers and mass arrests, but it's real, and real is what we're here for. Here's the thing, and look, I say this every week, but it matters even more on a day like today when the feeds are absolutely flooded with breathless claims. Most of what you're hearing is opinion, rumor, and in some cases just plain fantasy. It's people's best guess. It's what they're hearing from someone who heard it from someone. It's hope dressed up as intel. And that's fine, we cover all of it because our job is to pull everything into one place so you can see the whole picture and make smart decisions. But you've got to hold it loosely. We've been hearing this weekend for years. We've seen 1,000 specific dates come and go. Nobody truly knows when this happens or if it happens or what it looks like when it does. So we watch it, we track it, we stay on top of it so we're not caught flat-footed. But we do not lose our heads over it, and we definitely do not make financial decisions based on someone's unsourced claim that the reset locks in Tuesday at noon. This is the chatter. It's not the gospel. And the way we stay sane in this community is by keeping that line clear. And honestly, this is exactly why I built my whole morning around the app. Everything we just talked about, the trade bank shutdown, the bond payment claims, the Tampa Bay verification machines, the WTO meetings, all of it, it's already in there, updated the second it hit, organized by currency and by source, so you can dive as deep as you want any hour of the day. You didn't have to wait for me to tell you about the trade bank this morning. Anybody with the free app saw that the moment it was announced Friday, because it pushed straight to their phone. And here's the edge a lot of people don't realize they're missing. VIP membership is free right now. That's the tier that gets you the watch list the power users are following, VIP level alerts, the ability to flag exactly which voices and which claim types ping you and tune out the rest. It's a real advantage, and right now it costs nothing. Get in while it's free because that won't last forever. App is live now on the Apple App Store. Just search GCR Sentinel or head to gcrsentinel.com. If you're on Android, Google Play is coming very soon, but gcrsentinel.com still works as a free install today while you wait. Either way, it's a free download with free access to most of it, and it's built for exactly this, so you never have to chase intel across 10 feeds again. So what are we actually watching today? 1. Iraq's trade bank opens back up tomorrow. If the rate moved, we'll know. If it didn't, we'll know that too, and the claim that this was cover for a revaluation goes back in the nice story, didn't land file. 2. Bond payments. If those Asia and Europe payments are real, we should start seeing confirmation in the next 24 to 48 hours, not from someone's contact, but from multiple independent sources, people posting receipts, that kind of thing. If we don't, it's another claim that sounded good and went nowhere. 3. Iraq's meetings in Washington. These are real, they're ongoing, and they matter for the long game. WTO accession, investment law, economic partnership, that's the boring infrastructure that actually has to be in place for any of this to work. So we keep an eye on it, not because it's sexy, but because it's real. And 4, we watch the feeds. There is always something new, always another claim, always another date. Our job is to sift through it, separate the signal from the noise, and keep our heads while everyone else is losing theirs. No promises, no predictions, just watching. Alright, that's Sunday morning. I'll see you tomorrow morning, Monday the 27th, same time, same place. If something big breaks between now and then, you'll see it in the app first, that's the whole point. And if you know someone who's still piecing this together the hard way, hopping from feed to feed to feed, send them our way. That's exactly who we built this for. VIP Q&A is coming soon. By the way, you'll be able to send in your questions and I'll answer them right here on the show. So if you haven't grabbed that free VIP membership yet, now's the time. Stay smart, stay hopeful. And remember, this is the chatter, not the gospel. We watch it so we can make good decisions, not so we lose our heads. I'm Truman Vale. Thanks for listening. I'll see you tomorrow morning.